ever feel a tremendous amount of pressure as Hanukkah or Christmas are just around the bend and you're feeling the sense of financial strain before the holiday even began? My name is Heather Feather. I am the owner of Rare Bird Medicine, and today's topic is Gobble Bobble. We are right on the precipice of Thanksgiving, which occurs the fourth Thursday of every November. I'm a turkey baby. I was born on November 23rd. Every once in a while, my birthday falls on Thanksgiving, and this is the period where we start to consider post-Halloween or post-Samhain, typically, Christmas, Hanukkah, that end-of-year holiday celebration where family typically comes together. And we can feel this pressure to produce copious amounts of things. I got to gobble up all these baubles and then distribute them to my tribe, And we can have any type of relationship we want with our holidays. I have decided I'm not going to celebrate the holidays anymore. I am turning 50 on the 23rd of this month, and I did put up my Yule tree. I have a Yule tree, and so I'm going to have that up. But to me, like, my cat doesn't know that it's Christmas or Hanukkah or what's going on. She doesn't. She of course gets whatever she wants, but so I like the function of these things is to kind of come together in communion with others, and so I've just decided I don't need, I've had a lot of celebrations of it. I'm going to take a break from it. That's what works for me. And I'm going to just do whatever I want on the holidays. I might eat food that's divergent from what's available typically on those days. I might cook an interesting meal, or I don't know. I'm just going to create my own weird tradition. And so that's an option for me. As I'm considering what I might ship back home, I'm working to be aware of how much we consume as people. I'm constantly thinking about how much is it I'm going to consume in this life. Every resource that we use has an effect on the environs. And it's easy to just let me just get on Amazon and boop, 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 and let me get all this stuff shipped and, and then we have all these things coming in that have added air pollution and added all of this. The thought I was having the other day is perhaps you could get someone a gift card to their favorite coffee shop or to their favorite lunch place, or something that is going to give them resources in the future, but uses a very nominal amount of the space-time delusion and very nominal amount of consumerism. Here you go. Here's this thing that doesn't use a lot of the Earth's resources so that I can celebrate you this winter. You can also give something from the heart. People are far more creative than they often estimate. And so, if you have an artistic talent, if you are a potter, if you are a painter, if you are a poet, if you are a songwriter, if you are a photographer, if you are an artist in any way, you could start now, instead of gobbling up a lot of baubles, using your gift, using your talent to offer the ones you love a piece of your gift, a piece of your talent that they can look upon and go, wow, this beloved of my family or this beloved friend of mine made this thing, and it makes me think of them and I love it so much, And so you could share your gift with them. You could even, if you're an accountant, you could be like, I'm going to do your taxes this year. Merry Christmas. And it takes nothing other than the resources that you already have for your gift and talent at your disposal. We don't have to put ourselves under undue stress. We don't have to buy in, if you will, to the mega conglomerate consumerist marketing program that is eternally present in our field. Heather's made a decision that once I turn 50, I'm going to go through a period of eating single word foods, and not a mono diet like 𝐾𝐨, which I've done 𝐾𝐨 cleanses and fasts, but I'm going to just eat, salmon, broccoli, asparagus, and whatever the name of the item is going to be the ingredient as well, because that's what food is. Food is one name, and it is the name that it is. Everything else is stuff that humans have produced that has all kinds of things that my body has to then process and my liver has to detoxify, and I'm giving my organs extra work. And so I've decided to take this break and just consuming whatever I want when I go into a grocery store. Am I going to gobble bobble my way to the grave? I'm now going to become 50, and the way my body is going to respond to food and movement is slowing down a bit. So what am I going to offer it? Am I going to offer myself nutrients? Am I going to offer myself grace? This doesn't mean I'm never going to eat other than that. I just had a lovely date and am looking forward to going on one again. And if I'm given the opportunity to go out with this gent again, obviously if we go eat somewhere, I'm going to eat what's available on the menu. And as a general rule, I'm wanting to live a more clean, simple, streamlined life. I don't have to have all these complex options. I am getting rid of Hulu at the end of this month. Heather's been practicing for some time to only have one TV source available. So either Prime or Netflix or Hulu, and then I watch all that programming and then switch. But I've decided I want to switch to YouTube. I want to learn to build a cob house. I want to learn to play the guitar. I want to learn all these different things. And rather than gobbling the bobble called television programming, when I was a kid, I hung out with a bunch of punk rockers. We were all like, kill your TV. And now I bet you all those punk rockers are watching their TV, maybe save one, But I don't want to eat television programming for dinner every night. I would rather be creating. I'd rather be making something. So I tend to consume less television in some regards, television choice paralysis. But what I want to do is consume less altogether. I would rather be living my life than watching the stories of other lives that have been lived. And it can be okay to do that. Don't get me wrong. It's okay to not bear fruit, to not be productive. Heather is a double fire sign. She's very active. She's very productive. And it's okay for me to not produce. And that being said, what life do you want to live? Do you want to live a life where you're stressed out every holiday season? Or do you want to talk to your family and say, I'd like to have a different relationship with the holiday season? For me, the holidays is about the children. And I think we should all get the children gifts. But as far as adults go, let's put our names in a hat. I'm not going to buy 34 presents every winter. You know what I mean? Because we have a massive family. Or is there a different way we can do this? Can we do something different for the holidays? Is there a way we can come together as a family and instead we can just get a simple present? Instead of giving any present to the adults, we can get a present for a homeless person. And we go give a present to a homeless person, some warm socks, a blanket, something. And the children get presents to open so they get to have this wintertime experience and this experience of tradition. So it's important to know that you don't have to continue to live your traditions the way you've been living them. If it's not working for you, if it's causing you annually to have stress and everyone in your family to have stress, maybe it's time to have a family meeting and be like, can we change some things? Like, I'm in college or whatever, like I can't do this anymore, and simplify how much you consume, simplify how much you can take in. It's not just a winter practice. So for me, I more and more every year of my life want to live life on less. And I've done this many times throughout my life where I just pack up everything in my car and I have a huge yard sale. I get rid of everything and I just drive. I've driven to California. I've driven back to Austin. I've driven to New Mexico with what fits in my vehicle. And it's so liberating to have less. The more you have, the more your mind has to be aware of. And so one of the things you can do as well during these seasons, when it is cold outside, when people could use support, is you can go through your home and take some of the things you've consumed and gobbled up, those baubles you already have, and you can redistribute and give to others. And this is a season where people tend to get in touch with their charitable nature. What do I have? Every winter, I try to give at least 1 to 2 blankets to a homeless person. And it's like, all right, now I need to get new blankets this year because if I have company, they'll be cold. But I don't need all year to have all these extra blankets for company that isn't currently visiting me. And so is there some way you can take some of what you have consumed and you can contribute it to others? Can you contribute a plate of your holiday food and give it to a homeless person during this holiday season? Can you as a family each make a plate for a homeless person and go take it at the end of your dinner to someone that's hungry on the streets and make a difference in someone else's life? How can you use the resources you have to give back, and how can you consume less? And consider for a moment how that might contribute to your peace, your ease, and your grace this holiday season. You can always subscribe to Rare Bird Medicine on YouTube, like and comment there. Heather Feather always loves your thoughts. I'm Win.